Good afternoon. It's August 7th, and today we are going to look over what's getting ripe in the greenhouse right now. Some of these are finishing up, some of them are about halfway through, and some of them are just getting going. There is 29 varieties laying here on the table, and we're going to cut them all open and see what they look like and have a quick taste. We won't mess around about it, but we're going to get a good look at them here with our camera. A lot of good varieties. Hopefully I didn't grab anything and put it where it didn't belong. Don't look like it. This is what we are ripening in our greenhouse here in southern Illinois, zone 7A grow zone. We protect our trees in our greenhouses, but they get an early head start, but there's no heat in the greenhouse. So it's just a cold frame, high tunnel. I keep my trees in styrofoam boxes in the winter, trim them back so that they fit, no cordon, and this is the result. Now some of these are off potted plants, but nonetheless some of them are off in-ground plants. Bordesotinca is an in-ground tree. Yellow longneck's an in-ground tree. There's a black manthesina is an in-ground tree. And white Madeira #1 is an in-ground tree, as well as the Saguaro Black. And look how well it's ripened. You can see it's kind of smushy. Brazilian XP and Super Jumbo in-ground trees, and so is this Del San Juan in-ground, and I mean it is ripened to perfection. So we're gonna mess around here and get some of these cut open. Let's get started. This first one we're going to do is Bergen Unknown. And it's a nice looking fig. Let's see how much it weighs. Turn this on. And it's coming in at a whopping 36 grams. Got some nice cracking. Oh, and it's not ripe. I picked it just maybe a day early. Man, it's almost ripe. Oh, it is ripe. I guess that's what it really looks like. It's thick. The skin's thick on it too. This is a lot better than what it was last year that I remember. Because I'll be honest with you, I was very impressed with this fig last year, and it split, and the flavor was awful, and I completely rejuvenated it, and it grew back, and this is what it got from the rejuvenation prune this year. It's actually rather good. Thick strawberry flavor. Got some nodes of raspberry in there. That's a good fig. All right, so maybe I'll just hold on to that one. This next one here is LSU Purple. See what it's going to weigh in at here. Looks like our scales is going to make us restart every time. It's 31 grams. It's a pretty purple honey fig. Oh yeah, and it's perfectly ripe. Perfectly ripe. Good and sweet. There's some. That's an interesting honey flavor. Everybody says this tree is off of about a 3-year-old tree, so it definitely has some really good flavor with it. We'll set it there. Let's see here. This next one here is Yellow Longneck. Before we cut it, see what it weighs. That one there is weighing in at 58 grams. Maybe could have used a day. But while we're at it, let's go ahead and look at Golden Rainbow. It's a lot bigger. And that's just happens to be these two figs. I'm pretty sure they're pretty much the same. That one there weighs 97 grams. That's a big, heavy fig. But I get ones like that off my in-ground yellow longneck all the time. They may be a little different, and they may not be. Who's to say? But you can see a pretty good comparisons there. That Golden Rainbow, it's a refreshing honey fig. Doesn't really have a lot of complex flavors. Let's see with this yellow long neck right next to it. Let's see how it is. Texture's about the same. They're real close in flavor. So the only variance could just be the ripeness. That's for sure. All right. This next fig is going to be called a Dom Bordesotinka. This first one here coming in at 33, and this other one, bigger one here, is coming in at 44. Let's cut it open. Got some lighter color to them, but they're very soft. It probably could use another day, but at the same time, you can also pick it like that. It's a thick, nice, sweet berry flavor with some table sugar. It's kind of interesting. You could definitely let it hang a little longer, but I really thought it was getting pretty soft. Here's one more. Let's cut this other one open and see if it's any different. It seems like it might be a little bit softer. Let's see how much different this one looks. Oh yeah, that's more probably what you want to see. That's probably ideal ripeness right there. So it's quite a bit softer. Definitely the texture changes. It becomes more like a jelly. Cake battery texture. Got some nice sugar nose with some raspberry in it. That's a very tasty fig. This next one is from Nikki. It's Borelli. Boreale. It is a honey fig. Has a nice simple honey flavor. It's like agave honey. This might really develop into something as this tree gets a little older. We'll see how it does. It produces some fairly big figs. Here's another fig very similar. It is definitely different. As you can see, the stem on it's different than the other one. These all have this funky stem on it. This is a weeping apple pie. And I didn't weigh those, but they're only about 25 grams. And there's a little more creamier. Alright. This next one is called the Dom Nori. It kind of wanted to split right there at the end. We'll go ahead and weigh this one. This is a good sized fig. Yeah, that one's coming in at 62 grams. So a big, heavy, bulky thing. And yeah, it is definitely cake battery. Thick. Not a lot of sweetness, but you can taste the cake batter berry flavor to it. I wouldn't call it overly rich, but it is a good thing. I would kind of like to have a couple more to really, you could really, sometimes that's only like the second fig this year off that tree. So sometimes that can play a difference. All right, these next ones are per pony. There's a 35 and a 37. That's interesting. Per pony. This is a nice striped honey fig. That starts to get a little redness in it. Has a subtle berry flavor too. Yeah, seems like that comes from the skin. But that adds a nice complexity to the honey portion of it. So the next one, coming in here at 34 grams. This is Sucrette. Ooh, no, I don't think that is Sucrette. I believe that is a white Madeira #1. I grabbed the wrong fig. Sometimes they can be a little difficult. Let's go ahead and get these other two white Madeiras I got, and we'll just look at it. This one here weighs 40. Oh yeah. Yeah. There they all are at different ripenesses. That's the only difference. So we'll only have 28 varieties, but you know this one's going to be the sweetest we'll see yet. Yeah, that's really good. It's got some cherry notes in it almost. These are more strawberry. So it kind of changes as it ripens. I would say this one and this bigger one were both off the in-ground tree, and this one was off a potted tree. Very delicious fig. All right. Moving along, next is Moscatel Preto. It's a heavy fig. Let's weigh it. We've got two of them. We're going to cut this ripest one open first. It weighs in at 69 grams. Whew. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, and it's perfectly ripe. Gotta have some of these. They're so big. It's a little more watery, but it has a lot of flavor. I think this one might be a good candidate for a commercial variety. We'll see how the skin holds up. It's not quite as rich as I would like for it to be, but it is a delicious fig nonetheless. Alrighty, and it has some slight berry notes to it, some sweetness. This next one, I bought this as De La Roca. And I'm not going to say anything. Let's just cut it open and see. I'm trying to get another De La Roca from another source so I can at least compare them. But I don't know what it is. Let's cut it open and have a look at it. Yeah, that ain't De La Roca, and that don't even look like it ripened correctly. Mm-mm. So I don't know what that is. We'll look at that, see if we can get a better fig later off of whatever that might be, because that ain't ripened properly. I bought the De La Roca. I bought some more cuttings off of the one particular seller, and some of the stuff I've gotten has been true, and some of the cuttings I got turned out to just be Hardy Chicago's, not what they were supposed to be. All right, so let's try to make up for that last one there. Let's get out one that should make a home run. This is Smith. It's weighing in at 38. Yeah. Very nice. Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, that one there is good enough that you got to have a few of them to fill out your orders with, just because they are so creamy and so rich. Smith, I just love them every time. Alright, so this next one is my LSU Gold. You can see it. Here's a smaller one. Let's weigh this biggest one here. That's generally what they are. That's 49 grams. Cut her right open there. Yeah, and that's typically what she looks like. LSU Gold. Has a nice honey flavor. Might be some floral notes in that. That's pretty good for a honey fig. Alright. And these are getting hard to eat, this many. The next one is a Socorro Black. And they have pretty good weight to them. That one's 38. That one's 41. So they're pretty close. One's a little riper than the other, but I mean, look at that. You can pick them like that at that stage. That skin right there will hold up. And this is a Socorro Black, Borgia Oak Reese, Violet Sapor. They are a commercial variety. And I think they'll be great here as a commercial variety. And that's what they do if you leave them. And you could ship them in that state right there. That skin still holds up good. You know, they'd be fine to move around locally. But I don't know. I can't say one that ripe how long it will keep in the fridge. That thing is so rich. It's like maple syrup and berries with cake batter when it's that ripe. That's just a super outstanding fig. It's a Socorro Black. Alright. This next one is the first year I've got anything off of it. And I've had it for a while. It's a honey fig. I bought a few years back from Garden Crochet. It's 39 grams. Its name is Carne Doncella. Doncella. It's a dark skin honey fig. And that's what she looks like. Looks kind of creamy. Got a lot of ache in these. It has just a nice, refreshing honey fig. It's okay. If you like honey figs, and I do like honey figs, I think my LSU, but I think the LSU was purple was maybe better. All right, this next one is called a Dom Ramada, and it doesn't get any prettier than that. I should have weighed it. We can still weigh it. Banging in at 40. I'm just going to cut me a small piece off of this. Man, that is definitely cake batter. Berry. Got that typical Call to Dom flavor and consistency. Yeah, ideal commercial fig if it'll produce enough, because the skin is very good on it. And it's thick and chewy. Here is Vasilika Sika, 51 grams. This is also, should be the same as Dalmati and Stella. I think this one here shows a lot of promise too for a commercial variety at that weight. The skin is not as tough as the others, but it has a really nice subtle berry flavor that anybody should like. This next one is Mutante Veneto. I think I showed it before. This one, biggest one, is coming in at 29. I wanted to re-look at it again and see how it's ripening now. And that looks just about like it did last time. It's not overly impressive on the inside, but it is still a nice creamy berry fig. Mutante Veneto. Alright. Alright, so now our next one is going to be, we're going to do 2 at 1 whack here. This is Brazilian XP. This is Super Jumbo DK. Now, the Brazilian XP weighs 60. The Super Jumbo weighs 109. They look pretty much the same inside and out generally, and their taste is pretty much the same. These are both from in-ground trees. They have a watermelon. They have a watermelon strawberry flavor. Every time. They keep well in the fridge. And I grow them in ground here without a problem in the greenhouse. Both of them. This is the biggest thing I found, the differences between Super Jumbo, Red Shram, Super Red Hybrid, and Brazilian XP is, they all seem to be very similar, and I have all 4 of them in ground, but their sizes are very different from one another, and their ripening windows are very different from one another. This next one we've looked at, but we're going to show it again because we're still ripening it. This is Pastelier, and it's weighing in at 53. Cut her open. Oh yeah. I guarantee you that's about the best tasting little. I think they taste like plums myself. and they're textured about like a plum. Oh yeah, that's a really sweet plum today. I'm a pastelier fan. I think we're going to try it in the ground, of course. There's a chance that skin may hold up in local farmer market shipping. So we're going to try it. This next one is weigh it up here, 43 grams. Get a nice look at this one. This is from an in-ground Del San Wami Ron. This is a really good fig. Oh yeah. Thick. Berry. Sweet. The skin's chewy. The skin's definitely thick enough that may hold up for local farmers market as well. Alright, here's the next two. We'll cut both of these open. These are not very big. Here's the other four. Total of four. Yeah, we'll weigh all four of them, and I bet, watch this. All four of them together weigh 72 grams. So the biggest one's weighing in at 27. This is green Mitskerinska. And they are super red and very, very, very tasty. Oh, and they're like jam. And they're very rich. Taste some cherry notes in that one with some raspberry. There's another flavor there. It's real sweet. Not sure what it is. It's definitely a delicious, delicious fig. This next one here is Princessa. It's weighing in at 36. This is a honey fig. I have not had it. Very interesting. I'm going to cut it like this. Get a have some achenes I can feel around. It's a nice honey fig. I don't know, it's kind of really plain. Probably need to try some more of these and maybe even let the tree age a little more, because some of these figs, they get a lot better when the tree gets some age. This tree is only 2 years old, so that might have something to do with it. This next one is, we're going to weigh it. This is Gris de St. Jean's, weighing in at 40. It's got kind of a little bit, one to split a little bit. But it's looking good. Smells good. Just take a quarter of it. Real mild, light berry, smooth, achenes, nice smooth texture. I've had some that's been a lot better than that one. I don't think that one had it had a tremendous amount of berry flavor in it, but I've had some that had some really peachy berry flavor that was really good. This next one is, we're going to weigh it. It is Nero 600. Coming in at 38 grams. It's a nice looking fig. And it's well ripened. Got that Bordeaux berry flavor. It's kind of interesting. Trying to think what can I say about it. It definitely has a little different flavor than some of the others that look like it. I have a Bordasot Rosa or Briscoe Rosa that looks like this. Don't taste anything like it. This just has a little more of a winey flavor to it, like Valade Bordeaux does. All right, this next one will be a first timer for me as well. We're going to find out if it really tastes what they say it is. This is Sweet Joy, and it has a fairly tight eye. It's kind of a pretty fig. Coming in at 38. Oh, that looks interesting. A little watery. Yeah, I'm not getting no marshmallows in there. It's just kind of a plainly. We'll have to get a couple more and try them and see. Like I always say, this first one ain't really indicative. I don't think it's overly impressive to me. It's probably the least flavorful of the honey figs I've had today, to be honest. So we'll try some more. I've got some more of those to ripen, so hopefully we'll get to. I like to go over these again and again because sometimes they're better than others. So it's nice to get to see them, what they are. All right, here comes one we're going to weigh in. This is Black Mantazina, weighing in at 55. Definitely a beautiful fig. I think the skin is as such that it would make a good local market garden fig. It has a stick-like batter. It has a nice sweet berry flavor. Not overly sweet. You know, on a 1 of 10 to scale, it's probably a 7 in sweetness, but it has an equal amount of sweetness and berry, so that makes it really a nice fig. I'd be interested to see if it'll fruit a little better as far as the tree goes. It has good fruit set on it, but I'll be interested to see if it can fruit heavier. My ones in the pots do, so my in-ground tree will eventually get there, I hope. Alright, so the last one of the day, let's weigh her in here. It's 64 grams, and this is Galicia Negra. It's a big, nice fig. Oh, wow. Good thing I left it for the end because it looks like it's going to be the fig of the day. I think this one here, with it ripening, starting to ripen now in early August, this one here may also be a good candidate here for a commercial fig. And the flavor is phenomenal. That is a sweet table sugar and berries. There's raspberry. There's stuff. I taste raspberry and blueberry both in there. That's a really phenomenal fig. I wonder if they'd let it hung another day or two, what it would have turned into. I'll have to try to let another one hang longer, and if I can get a real ugly one, I'll take a video of it and see what it looks like, because that's really thick. That's probably one of the best ones of the day. Galicia Negra. Well, guys, there they are. These are the ones that we are ripening here in Zone 7A, Southern Illinois, in the fig greenhouse. And if you buy any fresh figs from us right now, this is what you're going to be getting. Which there's some great options in there. I try to give everybody a little extra, a little over a pound. That way, if there's something not too good or something that we missed, You got enough in there to make up for it. And some of these that I have questions about, I don't even put them in there. We cut them up and process them here, and so there it is. I hope this inspires some of you to try some of these other varieties if you live in this climate, and just give them a little early help, and they'll produce. You know, and they're always more apt to produce as long as you is keeping the apical buds on them from the last fall. When you shut them down, they'll produce faster and more figs that way than they will any other way. So there's our figs, early August. Thanks for watching.